Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is such a fun one because I am going to be doing 3 looks with the What's Up Beauty Desert Monsoon palette. I was very kindly gifted this palette by the brand and I love the What's Up Beauty formula. I have both of their other eyeshadow palettes and I've also done a 3 looks 1 palette video with their other eyeshadow palettes. I will have those linked down below. So of course I had to do 3 looks with this one. This color story is different from the others. It's very unique. I'm so happy to have a complete eyeshadow palette collection from the brand and I can't wait to share some looks with you, including the look that I am wearing now. So if that sounds good, just keep on watching. All right, so I think for my first look, I want to go big, bold, dramatic, and smoky, and definitely do something with this bright bluey purple shimmer shade. It is just so stunning, and when I swatched it out, I knew immediately that I wanted to create like a purpley blue look. So I think that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so as a transition shade, I'm gonna go in with the shade Dust Storm. This is the lightest matte in the palette, and I'm actually really happy with the selection of mattes in this palette. I feel like they just make a lot of sense. Like you've got this shade that can be kind of a light transition or maybe even a lid setting shade if you have a deeper skin tone than I do. You've got a cooler brown that's still light enough to where I think a lot of people could use it in the crease. A deeper, more like chestnutty brown matte with the shade Canyon, and then a really, really deep dark brown here. So with those as your matte options, you can just create lots of very wearable, easy looks using those mattes and just picking any of the shimmers, I think. I'm actually gonna go into a little bit of Joshua Tree, which is that cooler matte brown. Just on the same fluffy brush, and I'm just going to deepen up my crease slightly. I'm thinking a halo eye for today's look, but I just want to get something nice and neutral in the crease just to get the look started. All right, so to start building that halo, I'm gonna go into the kind of raspberry pinkish matte. This one's called Tempest, and I'm gonna put this on the inner and outer portions of my lid, just to kind of start building that halo shape. It's been a while since I've done a halo eye, but I'm gonna try to go for more of like a rounded halo effect, following the natural shape of my eye rather than straight up and down, if that makes sense. Tiny bit of fallout, nothing crazy. Okay, and then I'm just gonna take a slightly fluffier brush in that shade Tempest to kind of soften that edge a little bit and blend it out. All right, and then just to create a little bit more depth, I'm gonna take the shade Thunder, which is that deep, dark, kind of cool brown, a little bit of that, and just kind of on the outer edges of the pink, I'm gonna start working that in as a way of deepening up the pink shade. There we go, I just added a little bit more depth and dimension to that pink. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do shimmers, knowing that we're gonna do a final blend at the end to just clean all of this up. So I'm gonna take a small amount of my NYX glitter primer across the blank space in the middle of my lid. And then I'm going to take my finger into that deep blue, the shade Downpour, and I'm gonna put that on the inner and outer part of the lid. The shade is so intensely pigmented. It is really beautiful. And then I'm going into the shade Succulent, which is like that brighter purple. And I'm just gonna put that right down the middle. And then use my finger to kind of switch back and forth between the colors and blend them together. That is looking pretty gorgeous. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other eye, and then I will go back in and do a little bit more precision work and blending to just make this look a little bit less of a mess. But halo eyes, you know, they always look messy until they're finished, at least on my channel anyway. All right, shimmers are on, so now I'm gonna go back in with that shade Tempest, which was the pink matte, and I'm just gonna blend the shimmers around the edges. And then just on the outer corners, I'm gonna take the shade Thunder and just use that to deepen and kind of blend the blue into the pink again. All right, and then back in with that first shade that we used called Dust Storm, which is the kind of lighter transition type shade. I'm just gonna go around the very edges and softly, softly just blend those edges a little bit. All right, and then for the lower lash line, I'm gonna take Tempest, the pink, all along, and then a little bit of Thunder, the deep brown, closer to the lash line just to deepen that up, mainly on the kind of outer third. I will be cleaning up my concealer after this for sure. I'm just gonna take a tiny dab of NYX glitter glue underneath my lower lash line, kind of in the middle on both sides. And then just on my finger, I'm gonna take that shade Succulent, which is the bright purple. So bright and pretty. And then for my inner corner, I'm gonna take the shade Humidity, which is like this cooler toned, almost silvery pink. And I'm just gonna put that right in the inner corner and then meet it up with the purple on the bottom. So not quite giving the halo effect on the lower lash line, but just doing something a little bit different. And I think right on top of that, like right in the inner corner, I'm gonna take Glow, which is the white, just to really brighten up that very inner corner area. And then as a final step, just to tie in the blue, I'll take a little bit of it on my little finger and just put that on the outer corner out here. I'm gonna do one final blend of that lower lash line. And maybe just touch up that purple a little bit right at the top of the halo here, just to kind of reinforce that shimmer. And that is the look. Very dramatic and sparkly, but super fun, super pretty. I am going to actually go look for a liner for my waterline, and then I will come back to do mascara with you. All right, I did just touch up my concealer a little bit. For the waterline is going to be the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Eye Pencil in the shade Alkaline, which is kind of like a bright purple. I feel like it fits with the look pretty well. And then for mascara, What's Up Beauty actually kindly sent me a restock of their Watch Me mascara, which is a beautiful formula if you like volume and drama to your lashes. And we definitely need some volume and drama to our lashes with this look, because I will not be putting falsies on today, but with this mascara, we're not gonna need them. So I will do 2 to 3 coats of this probably. It's got like I'm not sure if you'll be able to see, but it's got like a fluffy bristle on one side and then a comb on the other. So you can apply the product and kind of build up volume with the fluffy side and then comb through with the comb side. Okay, and here is the look with mascara and liner complete. I think this is a super fun look. I am very happy that the What's Up Beauty formula, especially the shimmer formula, is just as breathtaking in this palette as it is in the other 2 palettes that I have from them. I love the way that all of these shades are pairing together, and I just had so much fun doing this look. So I can't wait to do another look. Let's pass you on to look number 2. All right, I am back for look number 2, and I'm thinking definitely something green. There's 2 really gorgeous green shades on the bottom row of this palette, so I'm thinking we pair those with some of the browns and make just a really nice, smoky, wearable green kind of a vibe. So that's what we're gonna try to do. Okay, I'm going in with Dust Storm again, which is that lightest matte in the palette, and I'm just going to start building up some definition in the crease. And then I'm just going to dip a little bit into Joshua Tree, which is slightly deeper and a touch cooler, and just start building up the outer corner a bit. I started today's look and pretty much every look you'll see me do on my channel with the Ulta Beauty Matte Eye Primer, and set it down with the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Face Powder. And these mattes are blending beautifully over the top. All right, and then for even more depth and a little bit of warmth, I'm gonna go into Canyon, which is this warmer kind of chestnutty brown matte. And I'm gonna start putting that just on the outer third, and then blending it into the crease as well. That is a super duper pigmented shade. Okay, and then I think right at the lash line, almost like an eyeliner, I'm going to take the shade Thunder, which is that really, really dark, cool brown. Almost black, but not quite. And I'm just going to put this on my lash line, just at that outer third. And that's going to be almost like an eyeliner, just to really define and deepen up that outer corner. I think while I'm working with the mattes, I'm also going to take a little bit of that on the lower lash line and just kind of meet it up on the outer corner. And then I will just blend that out with a little bit of the warmer brown shade Canyon. Just kind of repeating the steps we took on the top lid in reverse. So I'll then go in with Joshua Tree and just make sure that's all nice and blended out. So we're starting out the look with a nice smoky matte base. Honestly, this is a really pretty look on its own if you wanted to go for something all matte, but I do want to play with those greens. So I'm going to grab my NYX glitter primer. Just put a really, really thin layer of that on my lid, kind of from the inner corner to the start of where that eyeliner shade was. And then I'm going to take my fingers into the shade Sun and Cactus, just so I can really easily blend those two shades together. So Sun, I'm putting on the inner half, and wow, that shade is stunning. And then I'm just meeting it up with a little bit of Cactus on the outer half. Holy moly. Those shades are gorgeous. So I'm just repeating those same steps on the other eye. The payoff from that shade Sun is incredible. I mean, I feel like I'm working with Pat McGrath shades right now. That's how stunning these shimmers are. Super duper high quality, so sparkly, tons of impact. Love it. I am just going to go in with a little bit of that shade Canyon at the edge to kind of blend that green back into the brown. And I will touch back up our little liner moment on the outer corner as well. And then around the edges of the shimmer, I'm just going to go back in with my first blending brush and a little bit of the shades Dust Storm and Joshua Tree kind of mixed together, just to make sure that those shimmers are blended in as part of the look. All right, and then I want to incorporate some of the green on the lower lash line. So I'm going to take a really tiny brush into that shade Cactus, and I'm actually going to spray my brush with a little bit of setting spray to help with fallout. This is the Cali Ray Surf Proof Setting Spray. It's got a nice even mist, which is actually kind of hard to find, but it's really helpful when you're spraying eyeshadow that's already on a brush to get a nice even mist. And I'm just going to put a little bit of that along the lower lash line and just kind of blend it into that brown that we already have down there. I love the kind of olivey tone of this shade Cactus. It's so unique and pretty. And it's almost like a satiny texture. It's really, really nice. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with a little bit of that brighter shade Sun that has a little bit of a flakier, more shimmery texture. So I'm just getting some on my brush and I'm gonna make sure I spray it. And then right at the kind of beginning of my lower lash line here, I'm just gonna touch that brush down, pull that up into my inner corner. So pretty. Okay, and then for my actual inner corner, I'm gonna do that same thing again, just with the shade Glow. So just getting a little bit of that on my brush, spraying it, and then popping that right in the inner corner. A perfect champagne-y inner corner shade. It's so, so pretty. This palette just really has the perfect selection of shades. They absolutely nailed it. You have all the mattes you need, you have a perfect inner corner, and then you have a ton of fun, colorful shimmer shades and some more toned down neutrally shimmers. I mean, they really, really nailed it with this color story. So that is going to be the look. I think I'm going to do a little bit of a liner in the waterline, and then I'm going to do mascara and pick out a lip, and I will be back to show you the finished look. All right, so I put some liner in my waterline. I used the NYX Epic Wear liner stick in the shade All Time Olive, which is like the perfect olivey gold tone for this look. And I have to say, I am in love with how this turned out. This is a very me kind of a vibe. I love to play with color in really wearable ways, and green is one of my favorites for that reason. It's like a nice gateway between neutral and color. And as I said, the quality of the shimmers that I used on my lid are top notch. Like, truly cannot fault them. They are so stunning and gorgeous in the light. Another great look with this palette. I'm having so much fun putting these looks together. So I will now turn you over to the third and final look. Right, so for our last look with the Desert Monsoon palette, I think I'm gonna go for something a little bit more pinky, girly, and soft for today. I think the only shimmer in this palette that I haven't used yet is the shade Desert Rose. It's a really pretty kind of like soft baby pink with a gold flip. So I'm thinking that will be really, really pretty all over the lid with some neutral mattes in the crease and then a little bit of this pink matte in the crease as well. So that's what we're gonna do. So as I did with the last two looks, I'm gonna take Dust Storm and put that in my crease as a first transition shade. And then to deepen that up, I'm actually going to dip my brush a little bit into the pink and the cooler brown shade. So a little bit into Tempest and a little bit into Joshua Tree to hopefully make kind of a soft pinky brown. Just took a little bit more Tempest to make it a little bit more pinky, but I think that's really, really pretty. And then kind of like I did yesterday, I'm going to go in with Thunder as a liner shade, but today I'm going to take it all across my top lash line. And I'm not going to do any NYX glitter primer this time because I want to just try to get a soft wash of shimmer. So I'm just going to take my finger directly into that shade Desert Rose and kind of tap that in the center of my lid first, and then pull it out to either side. So we get a nice little sheer wash of sparkle. That is such a pretty shade just for every day to throw all over the lid. It's like a gorgeous champagne color with a little bit more to it than a typical champagne shimmer because it's got that flip. I'm just going to blend around the edges one more time. And then for the lower lash line, I think I'm just going to take a Joshua Tree, which is that cooler brown, just a little bit of that to get a little bit of definition on the lower lash line, but I want to keep this pretty light for every day. And then I'll just blend that out with a little bit of Dust Storm, the first shade that we used. Okay, and then for a final touch, I'm just going to take a little bit of that lightest shimmer shade Glow and pop that right in my inner corners. And that is the look. It is soft, it is very everyday friendly, a little bit of a girly touch with a bit of that pink in the crease and that pink shimmer across the lid. But I am loving the way that this looks. So let me run and do mascara, and then I will come back, I'll show you the finished look, and I will give you my final thoughts about this palette. Okay, and here is the finished look. I think it came out super soft and pretty. I love that we've had so many different kinds of looks in this video. We started with the super bold, colorful, dramatic smoky eye, and then we had the kind of fun take on a neutral smoky eye with the greens, and then this one which is just like super light and fluttery and pretty. And I think that that just goes to show how versatile this palette really is. I think while I was doing every look, I reiterated how nice it is to have all of your mattes covered in here. You have a range of neutral mattes in here that you can pair with any of the shimmers, and you have your bases covered. And then the shimmer options in here are so fun. There's different textures to the shimmers, as well as having such a wide range of different shades. So I feel like this is a palette that a lot of people would really like. I think especially if you are a color lover, but also if you are a neutral lover and you are kind of trying to step out of your comfort zone and play with more color. Like I said, just put any of the neutral mattes in your crease and tap any of these shimmers over the lid, and I think you would really love even just a simple look like that using this palette. So I am a huge fan of this palette. I feel like it might be my new favorite What's Up Beauty palette. I don't know, that's a bold claim. I don't know if I can say it's my favorite, but it definitely has the easiest range of mattes to work with, I would say. But these are magnetic pans, so if you have any of the other What's Up Beauty palettes, you can always mix and match and create your own palette, which is super fun, and I definitely would like to play around with that at some point. But yes, another hit from What's Up Beauty. I think that they are just such a fantastic, high-quality indie brand, and this palette did not disappoint. I had so much fun playing with this palette and creating these looks. I hope you had fun watching it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Give it a like if you liked it, and let me know in the comments down below which look was your favorite. I think mine was definitely the green look. I was feeling myself with that look. I felt like myself with that look, and I will definitely be recreating that look probably for my next date night coming up this weekend because I just loved it. But yes, that is everything from me today. If you would like to see more videos from me, make sure to subscribe before you go, and I will hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.